Hello and welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. We are on the case of a serial killer who's been killing the Wampoan elders. We've been tracing them down for a little while now. Lots of different directions, really, but it's fairly linear so far. But we appear to have stumbled into their lair, which is Magpie's shop, which is in the back of a currently closed, at least, restaurant. So we went through their box of knickknacks, which seemed rather random. And just as I suspected, as soon as we finished looking through their things, as you step away from the box, you hear a slight click in the distance, the sound of the door's latch shutting. You are no longer alone in the stockroom. Oh boy. I don't like the fact that they were able to run up on us without us even turning around. Standing before you is a man clad in heavy armor and bearing a katana on his hip. His skin is an ashen gray, his eyes dead white. His teeth are jagged and appear quite sharp. This is no man. This is a ghoul. Huh. Okay, I don't really know much about those. We did hit all the things, right? We didn't miss anything? I mean, I don't think we could have, but... The ghoul's blind eyes search back and forth as it regards you. It cannot see you, but you have a sense that it knows exactly where you are at all times. Ah, a hired gun. No doubt brought to bear against me by the Wampoan elders, a means by which they can lift the curse plaguing them. I salute your tenacity, but I wonder, will you hear me out before raising your weapon to kill me? You're a ghoul, and you're talking. Yes, I am not only talking, I am reasoning as well, and since you have not attempted to kill me, your own higher faculties are engaged. I am a curiosity to you. The ghoul bares his teeth, breath rasping over them as he inhales. You wish to know not only what I am, but what I have done. As for who, you may call me Gaichu. I know who you are. You're the one killing the Wampoan elders. You are correct. I have killed all of the Wampoan elders to date, though only Elder Magpie was according to my initial plan. I regret the deaths of the other elders, but it was necessary. What does Gaichu mean? Harmful insect. It's the name I have taken for myself since the word is usually applied to pests, especially ones who drink blood, such as leeches and mosquitoes. The first character means injury or evil influence, and the second means insect or worm. This affair began simply enough. As you may surmise, I am not someone who can be seen in public without great risk. Wampoa Garden is an excellent place to hide. No police or triad presence, and minimal interest in things that lurk in the shadows. Unfortunately for me, Elder Ng discovered me through communion with her spirits. Rather than kill or chase me away, she came to me with a proposition. Ng and the other elders were having problems with one of their oh god, of course they were having problems with one of their number. An elder named Magpie had been holding many of their plans hostage and would not budge. They could not remove Magpie, however, because her services were too useful to the Wampoans at large. Ung offered me payment to dispose of Magpie, and I accepted. Wu shoots you a sidelong glance, tusks bared as he grits his jaw. Why the hell are we talking to this thing, Dragon's Breath? It's a goddamn ghoul, and you know what they're like. Well, I don't know, man. I don't really know much about ghouls. Or I as the player don't. And the fact that this one's talking is apparently a marvel, so we should pay some attention. Really? What pray tell am I like? All teeth and claws and bad manners, I expect. Gaichu's tongue is amused, despite the harshness of his rasping voice. Really? You want to crack jokes, you cannibal? Wu takes an involuntary step forward, raising his rifle. You're the kind of monster that'd devour a family just because it's convenient. Remember the 162s, Dragonbeth? He's just like them. The 162s were a gang, Wu, in the Barrens. Like, that makes a bit of difference. Go on, then. Talk to the monster, but I'm keeping my finger on the goddamn trigger. I believe that we were speaking of the Elder's plans to have me kill Magpie. Surely you could be a little curious about that. You didn't clean up all of her blood. I found some in her drain. Ah, unfortunate. I thought I was careful enough. Having it on my hands must have obscured my sense of smell enough that I missed the last remnants in the drain. I disposed of Magpie's body by emptying the blood in her bathroom. Then I cut her up into more portable pieces. Those were placed in a plastic tarp, which I took to the storm drains and hid. Gaichu nonchalantly waves a hand, his tone flat and unconcerned. It's unfortunate, but my survival depends on consumption of raw metahuman flesh. Letting such nourishment go to waste would be a foolish error. But why kill the other elders, then? I contacted the elders, not in person, of course, and they arranged to exchange payment. I assumed that since the job was done, would be a woman of her word. Baring his teeth, Gaichu hisses his next words across clenched teeth. I was mistaken. I arrived at the nearby parking garage the elders had told me about. They'd cleared out the other Wampoans under some pretense, though I'm not sure what the ruse they used. The elders never showed up. Instead, several members of the Hong Kong police force arrived. They were more heavily armed than usual, so I suspect they knew something of my nature. You saw scarring on the concrete from... Oh, I saw scarring on the concrete from bullets and a blade. You killed them with a sword? And my hands, yes. My blindness precludes the use of ranged weapons. Unfortunate, since I was an excellent shot before I became infected. But my skills in grappling and kenjutsu have only increased. A battle of swords is a clash of souls. Mine was stronger than theirs, and they perished. Yeah, that all lines up. I mean, we see his armor is red. We understand that whatever they were shooting, they knew who he was and what he had on him, so they were better equipped than normally. And yeah, sending your enemy to defeat your enemy is not surprising. Although what pretense the elders called the HKPF under is a different question. A betrayal of that sort cannot stand. Not only was I not paid for my time and effort, the Wampoan elders treated me like a common animal. And I am so much more than that. Reputation is everything, and I had none. I had hoped to build a network of contacts, so that I would be able to continue finding work. But with that treachery, my hopes were dashed. I decided to become the monster that they feared. One by one, I have eliminated them. They know how to contact me, and could have ended their nightmare at any time by making amends. I would have asked for more money, but it would have ceased my hurt. Yet they did not. Instead, they contacted you, no doubt asking you to eliminate me where the police had failed. So I ask you, what now? What will you do? Will you attempt to finish what the Wampoans started? Or will you treat me with the same humanity I have shown you? Let me ask you some questions. Very well, what would you like to know? Well, this one seems obvious, but did you eat the elders? Some of them, not all. My condition requires that I consume raw metahuman flesh. I do not require a great deal to survive, perhaps 3 to 4 pounds per week. Consequently, there is vastly more supply than demand. Is this from your armor? Ah. Yes, I felt a ragged edge on one shoulder plate. I assume it was removed when one of the police officers shot at me with his rifle. The hazards of war include unkempt attire, unfortunately. Why would the elders have you killed instead of paying you? Any number of reasons. They are notorious cheapskates and will always try to save money when dealing with outsiders. It could be their natural inclination towards profit. They may regard me as subhuman, and therefore unworthy of respect. It could be they felt I was too dangerous to allow to live. It could even be that they simply did not like me. The net result is the same, however. They reneged on a deal we brokered and attempted to have me killed. A message must be sent. Blood must be paid. As they have hired you to kill me, they have obviously not learned their lesson. If I let you live, what will you do? Kill the rest of the elders and anyone else they send to exterminate me. Is it a matter of survival? Should I ever have the opportunity to work freelance again, potential employers need to understand the price of betrayal. These murders are my curriculum vitae in revenge. I have made my decision. Oh, what then will you do? How will this story end? Well, that's not what I expected. Huh. Well, that seems like a pretty good option. I was about to wonder, like, I didn't really want him to go kill the other elders, so I was hoping there was going to be some kind of third option, but in fact, there wasn't the first option that I thought. So, come and work with me. I can be your face. A curious offer, and what of the elders? Will you allow me the satisfaction of killing them? I want to see what they have to say first. I would counsel you not to believe their words, but you have the sound of one who is as wary as a matter of course. Very well. Let us wait until a bit later in the night. Most pedestrians will be off the street, and it will be easier for us to approach the Wampoa without being noticed. Sounds like a good plan. Oh, he's just with us now. Okay. Well. Good enough. Nobody else here? As you approach, Elder Ung's eyes widen. Her mouth falls open and the veins on her neck bulge. What are you doing? You've brought this thing into our home. Quick! Kill it before it kills us. Porter hefts his pistol warily, but does not aim it at anyone. Yeah, I have to say, this isn't a good idea. Why the hell is a ghoul in here, and why is it wearing armor? Calm yourselves. I am not an it, and your elders know this intimately. Gaichu bares his teeth in a rictus grin as he turns to face Ung. Good evening, Elder Ung. I can smell your fear, and I am glad of this. It means you are learning the price of betrayal. Whoa, whoa. What the hell is going on here? Can somebody explain to me why the ghoul is talking? That's interesting. We can choose to kill them too. The elders have been lying to the rest of the Wampoans. We would never lie to the Wampoans. Our role is to protect this community, not lie to it. What proof do you have to back up your claims? Porter nods at the elders, looking back to you with a wary expression. I'm interested to hear what kind of evidence you have to support this theory, Dragon's Breath. As far as I can tell, this monster killed Tong and the others, and that makes him a threat that should be eliminated. The elders hired Gaichu to kill Elder Magpie and make it look like she disappeared. There's some of these interactions where I'm like, both of these say the exact same thing with barely a difference in tone. I'm not even sure why. Like, this one is a little bit slightly more accusatory, but it's still like implied, not directly. You believe this, Furman? This creature that feasts on metahuman flesh, that kills and dismembers our tribesmen? You are a naive and foolish woman, if that's the case. Ung spits on the ground in front of Gaichu. What proof do you have that Magpie is dead? Ung, please. In matters where an elder is accused of breaking our law, the other elders generally judge them. In matters where all of them have been accused, I am authorized to act as a judge. Make your case, Shadowrunner. Well, that's fucking handy. Cool. I'm glad they actually have something in place in case there's, you know, some sort of coup or bullshit going on. Thank you, Lamb. This is gonna be great. You know, I actually don't know. I keep thinking Porter is like his title, but it's probably his first name. Just, I don't know. For some reason, yeah, anyway. There was a large amount of blood in her shower drain. So what? Perhaps she cut herself and washed the cut off, or perhaps you are mistaken about it being blood. You're simply guessing as to what happened. That's true, it's a guess, and even if it is her blood, that doesn't prove the elders hired the school to kill her. Porter gives Elder Ip a sidelong glance. The elders have always protected Wampoa Garden to the best of their ability. I found Magpie's necklace in the storm drains. Porter takes a moment to examine the necklace. He nods at you. This is definitely Elder Magpie's. If you found it in the storm drain, that's suspicious, but hardly proof on its own. Of course it's not proof. The number of things lost down storm drains in Hong Kong must number in the tens of thousands per year. While unusual, it's hardly evidence of foul play. She hasn't been seen in a month, not by anyone. She wouldn't just disappear like that. That may be unlikely, but it's hardly impossible. You haven't established that the elders were involved. All you've done is make suppositions about it. What proof do you have that we hired and betrayed this creature? I won't sit by and listen to idle accusations without any kind of concrete evidence to back it up. What about the fight with the Hong Kong police force? How do you mean? What does that have to do with the elders and the ghoul? I guess we're just going to go through all of these. I mean, I'd rather make a more direct statement like the HKPF were equipped with gear that they would not have had to hunt just anyone. They knew who they were up against, and the only way they would know that is if you sent them in after him. But anyway, the evidence in the garage points to a fight with someone using a sword. We allowed the police into Wampoa Garden because they were hunting someone. They never told us who or why they were looking for their quarry. It didn't have anything to do with us. Gaichu hisses through clenched teeth, addressing Porter Lamb. I was the only one to collect payment from... I was only in the garage to collect payment from them. The ordinary residents were warned of the HKPF's arrival and were gone by the time I arrived. That's suspicious, I admit. Porter regards the elders for a long moment. Still doesn't prove the elders knew it was the ghoul. You're just going to keep saying that, so... This is a piece of Gaichu's armor I found in the garage. The markings on it prove it. You point out the armor's markings to Porter, and he nods with some satisfaction. This is from his armor, definitely, but how does it prove that the elders knew of the ghoul's existence? The police officers were abnormally armed and armored, with much heavier gear than a normal patrol. They were armed with armor-piercing, discarding sabot rounds. That's hardly standard issue. Lesser weapons wouldn't have broken that armor plate. If all they were looking for was a common fugitive, why be prepared to fight for a fight of that magnitude? Obviously, they knew what they were searching for. That doesn't mean we did. You Wampoans don't allow police inside the area. Why make an exception this time? The police were polite and asked our permission to enter. They were hunting a non-Wampoan. That was reason enough to allow them in. Well, now your story is incredibly inconsistent, because you didn't... How would you know it was a non-Wampoan? You're gonna tell me you just trusted? They just said it's a non-Wampoan, you were like, walk on in? Because I doubt that. You would have demanded to know exactly who it was. In which case you would have known anyway. Porter considers this for a moment, then shakes his head. That doesn't add up, Ung. Why would the police ask us for entry now? They've never been polite before, and they've always tried to force their way in here. It just doesn't ring true to me. Did you ask them to come in order to hunt down the school? Preposterous. Porter, you know what our community is like. We wouldn't lie over something like this. The school has been lying the entire time, trying to cover his tracks. He still brutally murdered several elders. That's true, those murders are vicious and cruel. Porter fixes you with a hard stare. I don't see any way to explain that away. The school is a monster for how he killed Tong and the others. Tong wasn't tortured. There was no astral residue of pain or fear. He didn't even feel the blow. That's correct. I struck a single blow while his back was to me. His death was instant. Regrettable that he had to die for your folly, Ung, but necessary to protect my reputation. Ung glares at Gaichu in stony silence before addressing Porter. You cannot believe what these people say. They are not to be trusted. And even if this is true, he still killed Tong. Porter looks back at Ung, his expression flattened without emotion. Maybe so, Ung, but a monster would not take Tong's suffering into account. He may be a killer, but he's not heartless. The scene of Tong's murder, like the others, was a deliberate sham. It was made to look more horrific than it was. I believe you. The blood smeared on the walls, the removal of his skin, that's a scene designed to evoke horror, not the scene of an actual fight. Elders, what do you have to say in response? This is a farce. We have dedicated ourselves to protecting the Wampoan tribe and everyone who lives in Wampoa Garden. Do you really believe outsiders and monsters over our word? We who have only tried to end the killings? You've been duped, Porter, you and this Shadowrunner. I concur. Porter, you know me. You know the kind of person I am. I wouldn't be party to the killing of another elder. I can't believe we're even entertaining the notion that we have to defend ourselves. We should be disposing of the school instead. Tang narrows his eyes, hissing. If you think I'll forget this, you're sorely mistaken. I will not tolerate this kind of insult. The elders were all too happy to have the red spears move into the garage, almost like they wanted to keep anyone curious about the fight away. That's right. Yep, you even told me not to go find out what happened with the fight. You said the red spears gangers were moving in and to leave them alone. Why would you tell me not to look into it? I was only trying to protect you from the red spears. They're dangerous, which is why I wanted to deal with them directly. Magpie's gear was missing, obviously missing. Why didn't Ip tell me that? He would have had to have noticed, and Magpie's shop is locked up. Why didn't he want me investigating? Pure supposition. You think it proves something that I didn't notice equipment was missing? Magpie's shop is always a horrible mess. Tang, you did a full inventory of Magpie's matrix servers. You assured us that everything was running fine and that you would be able to continue her work. I find it hard to believe you missed something as obvious as missing equipment, especially while searching her stock. That's all I've got. Alright, I think I have some idea of what's going on here. And, what do you believe the real story is? Gaichu seems to be telling the truth. Elders, too many facts don't add up. You are obviously hiding something, possibly a great deal, from the rest of the tribe. I'm sorry, but I have to take you into custody until the community can decide the extent and manner of your punishment. Death would seem appropriate to me, especially given they kept this charade even to you, one of their most trusted citizens. Don't you dare talk to me like that, you disgusting beast! Ip begins to raise his weapon. Porter reaches out to stop him. Ip reluctantly stops. Ip, no. Don't make this any worse than it is. Porter turns to face you. Thank you, Dragon's Breath. I'll make sure that justice is meted out. You are free to go, and I will ensure payment is delivered to you, so long as you take Gaichu with you. I can't have him staying here. This feels like it's asking for a fight. I'm curious what it is, but I'm not going to press it because I don't want to accidentally get into something I don't want. He'll be coming with me. As you exit the Wampoa into the sweltering night air of the Kowloon streets, Gaichu turns to face you. I confess, I am unhappy with the decision to allow the Wampoan elders to live. We should have killed them, if for no other reason than to maintain our reputation. That's why I let them live. That's not how we do things. Gaichu bows to you, head held very low. I can accept this. I am unused to working with Shadowrunners, and I assumed you would see things as I do. Hopefully there is much I can learn from you. Shall we leave this place? I am eager to be done with Whampoa Garden. Alright, well, I assume there's nothing else. I assume nobody else is out here at all. Although, I do kind of... I want to see if the smugglers are still there. Oh, we can't go down there. We can only go back into the stockroom. Do you want to take your stuff? I mean, this seemed like personal effects, but, why is there a... Why is the marker there? That's weird. I have to say that whole storyline came to a rather abrupt end. I don't know. Like, I guess I'm not horribly disappointed. It just felt like there was more to explore, maybe. But I'm pretty sure I exhausted every possibility. I guess I meant more to explore in the sense of literarily, narratively. There was more to explore in that place. Alright, return to Heioi. The MTR rockets noiselessly towards Heioi along the edge of Kowloon Bay. The black water glitters in the night with the light of 1,000 reflected storefronts. Gaichu stares sightlessly out the window, one hand pressed to the glass. The plot by the elders is exposed, and Porter Lamb is in your debt. You have a new ally and the respect of the Whampoans. Sometimes everything goes right on a job. You count yourself lucky this was one of those times. Yeah, we didn't do any combat, did we? It was interesting to see how many options there were. Like, there were always other ways out because I had, looked through stuff. But there were quite a few options, narrative options that I could not pick because I didn't have certain skills. Which is funny because, now I'm sitting on 22 karma. I probably could have spent some of that, but we made it through. Who's this? A disheveled man in filthy rags teeters on the sidewalk, wobbling on unsteady legs. His bloodshot eyes dart out desperately, and the acrid sweet odor that wafts off of him buzzes unpleasantly in your nostrils. You okay, man? You have to help me, man. His teeth grind as his grip tightens. His hand feels like a vice. I need your help. These are all really mean. This is weird. Say the magic word first. The man yanks you closer. Your eyes are watering from his pungent proximity. Still, you notice his tattered clothing bears designer logos. Please, please, take Handsome Lee a message from me. Never heard of him. Now who are you and why are you touching me? I'm Steven Dynamite. He nods eagerly, desperation in his eyes. A sluggish tongue wipes itself over the cracked skin of his lips. Is this some famous actor or something who ended up in a bad place? Look, you've got to help me. I've been poisoned. That crap that Lee sold me put bad things in my head. When I close my eyes, I see dark, narrow tunnels, so many. Hands grabbing, razor-sharp teeth gnawing, and the children. Bad things are in your head? Are you talking about hallucinations? The junkie stares into space. A faint trickle of saliva makes its way down his chin. No, not exactly. More like nightmares. They feel very real. To teeth biting. Faces I knew. Man, why are so many of these responses so unpleasant? Like, yes, I'm sure this interaction is not very pleasant, but he hasn't, like, been truly horrible in any way. He's just kind of gross and a little overly aggressive. Alright, calm down. I'll do what I can. And tell Lee what he's done to me. I need that I need relief. Tell him I want... His sentence trails off. You've been a little vague about that, Steve. Need something in particular? I want my money back. His reedy voice wavers, but he stops and says no more. Poisoned, nightmares, money back. Got it. Anything else? Just please come back and please hurry. Well, no new objective. I guess we could maybe ask who that is. Oh, he does have new things to say. He waves the shaken man inside, propelling him forward a final pat on the back. People don't realize that you gotta check for internal weapons as well as external ones. You can't possibly feel an implant. Sure you can. You just need the right technique. Matter of fact, I cut a guy just last week with a phosphorus grenade in his leg compartment. And what did you do? Disarmed him, of course. Got it back behind the bar now. I'm gonna blow it off in the river. Impress some girls. You looking for a pat down yourself? You getting fresh with me? Ha, you're alright. You don't need anything, you let me know. You need anything, you let me know. Oh, I haven't talked to him since I talked to the people inside, I guess. You remember the family that owns this place? Sure am. Frederick Kaffai. Some call me Freddy. Most call me shit no, please stop, or something along those lines. I'm also the current record holder for the Club 88 pitch and toss, which is to say I throw deadbeats harder and farther than anyone else around these parts. High water mark is that piece of tape over yonder. Guy was an orc, too. Hefty. But he simply soared that day. You running any business on the side? Nah. I may take the occasional payment to look the other way or be in the can when a fight breaks out, but I have enough on my plate that I can't really take on much else. Training, you see. I love what I do, but you gotta work hard to stay in peak condition. I've also got some next steps in mind, so I'm working even harder towards that. Big plans. You just wait and see. I also played the drums. Why are you searching some people and letting others in? This is a private club. There's 3 kinds of people I let in. Members, guests of members, and people who make a good case. The latter 2 get a really good search before they go in the door, unless they're with Kindly Chang or the Emperor of Japan or something. I don't care if somebody has a cyber spur or holdout pistol or whatever, but we can't have serious weapons on non-members inside. Ma sells some big stuff, but she puts electronic trigger locks on her merchandise until they're out the door, so people don't get dumb ideas. This is a no assassination safe zone. Serious weapons go in the weapons check, unless you're a member. That way, if a big firefight ever breaks out, the members will have the upper hand. We keep the killings very rare. Most happen when some members get all fired up and decide to settle a score with box cutters or something. So I'm a member now? You work for Kindly, as a Shadowrunner no less. That makes you a member. Remember the rules. No fighting, unless you know. Comes down to that, and you're ready to skip off the concrete. No killing either. If you got legitimate killing business, go do it somewhere else. People come here to have a good time. You're really just trying to minimize collateral damage, aren't you? Pretty much. I'll leave you be. Okay. So we really only have... We have sleep and we have the 2 upcoming missions. So let's go talk to Kindly See if she knows who this guy is. But everybody's moved around. Okay. Alright, one more stop before we do that. 3 people, possibly locals, are busily hunched over, avidly discussing something beneath their breath. From the looks of them, they appear to be sailors, roughly hewn clothes stained by salt, leathery skin, and an acute awareness of being on land. You watch their feet shuffle awkwardly on the docks. Their whispers are just within earshot. Now, I asked Crafty and she said the same. Them dreams is bad. Think we'll lose them at sea? We're supposed to get out soon to make that delivery. What if they follow us? You see the man shudder. Don't think so. Crafty said these things is just affecting here for now. Right here for now. First sailor points to the ground. As soon as we sail, dreams will stop. Hey. The third sailor sees you and taps his friend on the arms. They shoot upright. One examines his fingernails, the other coughs loudly and begins to hum, and the last pretends she didn't see you. But when they sense your continued stare, the third speaks up. What are you looking at, Landy? I overheard you talking about the dreams. I've had them too. You feel an uneasiness pass through the sailors. Seems anyone who comes by these parts is having them. As soon as they leave, the dreams stop. Right eerie it is. Any leads on why they're happening? We don't know much ourselves. We've only just returned from our last delivery, but the dreams ambushed us fast enough. Hey, what about that Crafty? The sailor turns to you. She runs the 5 phases. Smart girl, might know a thing or two about this blight. You ask her and she may have something more to say. Well, I already talked to her, but we'll go talk to her again as well. There was a boat here with a merchant selling goods not too long ago. He leave? The 3 sailors' suspicions turn into smirks. One snickers to herself. Merchant, she said. That crook didn't so much as leave it as he was chased off by Kindly. No sales permit. Not a big loss, though. The local shops have way better stuff than that small-time hustler. I'm trying to remember who was there. Which guy it was. I don't think I bought anything off of him, though. Don't you look around. You'll find the shop owners here more friendly towards you now that you've gotten the okay from Kindly. That's a weirdly specific call-out. You don't know who the hell I am. But okay. Thanks for the tip. They all exchange a look. The first sailor responds. Right, and stay careful around these parts. Didn't mean to interrupt. See you around. The brooding tide of whispers resumes as your back turns to the sailors. Who is this guy? Oh, this is Handsome Lee. Okay. Well, it's muggy out, even for Haoi in monsoon season. You pause to mop your brow. Suddenly, you feel eyes upon you. As you glance up, you meet the tranquil, searching gaze of a man half hidden in the shadows. He's wearing a crisp, white tailored shirt sleeves neatly rolled, with a dark gray silk tie and a smart black trousers. If he's sweating, you don't see it. I mean, he also has a suit jacket on as well, but the man tilts his head ever so slightly in greeting. A newcomer. Welcome. He flashes you a brilliant smile, eyes glinting with bemusement. You can just barely detect a faint trace of an accent in his voice. Handsome Lee is the name, purveyor of enhanced sensory experiences. I can see that you've got some tales to tell. You're not from around here, are you? His smile flickers briefly. He's got a decent poker face, but you can see he's rattled. And, why do you ask? Because Haoi street dealers are too busy to use such flowery language. Ah. He fidgets uncomfortably. You're right. I'm not from Haoi. Keep going. I was born in Taiwan. I was forced to flee during the Nationalist War. I hear you have a slight accent as well. Seattle? Emphasis on the slight. The corner of his lip curls smugly. It's your move, apparently. This would be funny, but I'm not going to do that. Let's see. Incline your head. Good guess. Edmund Barons. Handsome Lee suddenly fixes you with his gaze, sizing you up. His face is impassable. Nasty place. It toughened me up. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I know just what you mean. My own life experiences have left me ready for anything. But we can discuss this another time, yes? Let us now talk about business. I am a businessman, after all. So how about it, friend? He opens his jacket, revealing a myriad of small, bulging pockets sewn into the interior lining. Can I show you my wares? Nothing right now. Bye. We'll come back and address him after we talk to Kindly, I think. I wonder if she knows he's here. He is right outside her place. Kindly Chang appears to be nearing the end of a harsh exchange with Strangler Bao, who is listening intently. So, you tell that little pustule that Auntie Chang isn't fucking happy, you get it? Not happy at all. Don't tell him I'm displeased. Don't tell him that I didn't take it well. She slams her shot glass on the table. Tell him that I'm extremity chopping mad, and if he doesn't want what happened to ye to happen to him, he'd better get his head and his ass wired together and get me that payment. Today. She raises an eyebrow. Was that message clear enough, Mr. Bao? Yes, Mrs. Chang. I'll explain things to him in terms he can understand. Bao steps back and becomes a meat statue once again. Chang's voice turns treacle sweet when she sees you waiting for her. Ah, our newly minted Shadowrunner. How are you taking to your new role, Dragon's Breath? Like a duck to water, Auntie. I had no doubt, my sweet. I have a nose for talent. And how is Mr. Gunshow doing with his new life? He should be okay. Just needs some time to get used to all of this. Very good, my dear, very good. She smiles. Was there something specific you came to see me about? I guess not about Handsome Lee. Just checking in, Auntie. It pays to stay in touch. I agree, yes. Personal contact gets results. I have some good news for you. One of my people successfully planted a wiretap on the police's Special Duties Unit. If news of your foster father or the plastic-faced man reaches them, it will reach me as well. So far, your foster father has proven a difficult man to find, and the plastic-faced man is elusive. He's clearly someone who knows how to stay out of the public eye. But I have my network running work. That's what? I don't think that's right. That doesn't make sense to me. Should have been one of these two words, but not both. But I have my network working day and night, and I still have some favors that I can call in if need be. We'll find them both. It's only a matter of time. Until then, go about your business. I'm sure that more work will come your way in any moment. I could see it being running network if running was an adjective about her network, or if it was network runners working day and night. But yeah, that just doesn't make sense. She glances back at Bao. Now I have some pressing business to attend to. The kind that ends in parentless children. Jesus. I'll talk to you later. Can I keep talking to you? No time for runners now. I have other business to attend to. Alright, well, we're gonna give this place a little wander around, and we'll start off with addressing Handsome Lee and whatever that other guy's name was, Steven. But we'll do that next time.